Look at how bright the Klarus Mi7 is. It's freaking amazingly bright. How awesome is that? A tiny compact EDC that can light up my whole backyard without a worry. How awesome is this? Hey everyone, it's Chris here from Everyday Survival Gear, and today I'll bring you the Klarus Mi7. It's basically a small, lightweight, compact 14500 and off-the-shelf AA EDC. Let's get the review started. Alright guys, so in front of me we have the Klarus Mi7. Basically we'll just go through what it came with first. The flashlight itself, the lanyard, I like it because it says Klarus. Plus it's pretty thick and good quality. Like spare O-ring, keyring attachment, and that's like a hook part that you can use as a keyring attachment, or you can attach it to your bag. Instruction manual, and it came with standard AA battery, which I could not find, so I'll just use this one for the test. Amazon basic sell, but they're rebranded any loops. So yeah, so that's what it came with. The new model, well, it's not a new model, it's the same model of the Mi7, but the newer colors, they do come with a pocket clip too, so keep that in mind. My one didn't come with a pocket clip, and some of the colors don't, but some of them do. Alright guys, now we'll just run through the specs. Basically, it's got a Cree XBL HI V3. Klarus rates it up to 50,000 hours. You should be able to get 100,000 hours out of it, seeing as it's not really overamped. So yeah. Maximum output of 700 lumens and maximum runtime of 67 hours. Obviously you can't have both at the same time, but the max lumens from this light on high is 700. You will need a pretty good 14500 cell to achieve that, but you can get it. My one does about 700 because I've got a IMR cell in it. It's pretty much a small, lightweight, everyday carry, so it only weighs 26.4 grams without the battery. That's actually heavier than the JetBeam Jet 1 MK, but the JetBeam Jet 1 MK is a different style. It doesn't have the electronic switch, and plus it doesn't have as many lumens. Alright, so it's got a battery capacity indicator, displays remaining power for easy monitoring. So you got to fiddle with the buttons and it will tell you how many volts you got left, kind of. One touch, easy access to moonlight, and high output levels. Always comes in handy because I'm not a big fan of moonlight mode myself, so to have that option, that's always great. Unique high efficiency circuit with broad voltage range to accommodate both AA primary and rechargeable and lithium ion 14500 batteries. So you know, you're going across a pretty broad range of voltages there. 14500 will be up to 4.2 volts fully charged. A standard AA battery will be about 1.65 volts fully charged, maybe even 1.7 volts, and a fully charged NIM will only be about 1.35 volts, somewhere around about there. So it can work with all of those, so the voltage range is pretty broad. Constant current driver with no PWM, which is always good. Over discharge protection automatically lowers output level to protect rechargeable batteries. Lockout mode, I love the Klarus lockout mode, it's always so good. Reverse polarity protection. Exclusive stainless steel switch, does have the stainless steel switch there, SS. It's a CNC machine from aluminium body, aircraft grade, aerospace aircraft grade, fancy. Military grade hard 3 anodizing, just the usual there. Anti-reflective coated lens. IPX8 to 2 meters, which is always great for waterproofing. The other part is it's only impact resistant to 1 meter, which is kind of sucky, but it's okay because it's gonna have a boost driver in there to boost up the power from a standard AA. It's gonna have to have a boost driver, so that's gonna lower the drop resistance. I can hardly see my phone screen because it's so bright outside. Yeah, So the working voltage range is from 1 volt to 4.2 volts. It'll actually go down to 0.8 volts for the NIM, because that's when NIMs pretty much run out of energy at 0.8 volts. So the first editions came in black, red and blue. I'm guessing that those are the ones that don't have the included clip. So if you get any of the other colors, you'll get a clip. Also, before I forget, this light was sent to me by Gearbest. It's going for a pretty cheap price now, about $22 US, which is a great buy. So I'll leave the link in the description and you can go check it out if you want. Orange pure reflector. There's the OP reflector there. And you can see the AR coated glass in the Cree XPLHI. There's the side switch, as I've already shown you, stainless steel. So basically 3 output levels and 2 strobe patterns. So on high mode with a 14500, you'll get 700 lumens for 53 minutes. Obviously it'll step down because the battery doesn't have the capacity to run for that long, for that high. Low mode with the 14500, 90 lumens for 3 hours and 47 minutes. Moonlight mode with the 14500 is 67 hours. Strobe 700 lumens is the strobe setting with the 14500, and it goes for 1 hour and 46 minutes. SOS mode with the 14500 is 90 minutes. 90 lumens and goes for 11 hours and 21 minutes. Alright, now we'll do the AA ratings. I'm guessing that they're using like a NIM, because maybe if you use a standard cell you wouldn't get quite as long. The output with a NIM is actually pretty good. 330 lumens for 55 minutes on high mode. Low mode is 90 lumens for 1 hour and 50 minutes. Moonlight mode is the same. It's 5 lumens, but you only get 40 hours. Strobe is down a little. It's 300 lumens for 1 hour and 50 minutes. And SOS is the same at 90 lumens for 5 hours and 30 minutes. Its peak beam intensity is 3025. Max beam distance is 110 meters. And as I said before, drop resistance to 1 meter and IPX8 to underwater to 2 meters. Size wise, the bezel is 19 mils long, as in width, sorry, 19 mils in width. The body is 17.6 mils, so that's across there. The overall body length is 87.2 mils, so 8.72 centimeters. I've got the Jet MK1 there, so you guys can see what they're like together. It does weigh, as I said before, a tad bit over the Jet 1 MK at 26.4 grams. It does also handle heat a little bit better than the Jet 1 MK. Now, considering that these lights are only about $10 US difference in price, I'm shaking the table, that's not anything else moving. It's hard to choose which one, because the Jet 1 MK does look really, really good. Like, I really like the way it looks. But the Klarus Mi7 also looks just as good. Like, I really like the diamond pattern knurling. Like, I actually don't mind this side switch, and it, because it's a Klarus, it does have a proper lockout system. Both of them didn't come with magnets, so I'm not sure if that's going to be a problem for you. Maybe you should consider another light. But also, it's got space here where you can add your own magnets. And as you can see from the Jet MK1, I added my own magnets to that. Obviously, output wise, the Mi7 is a lot brighter than the Jet 1 MK. With the AA, it's at least twice as bright. With the 14500, it's about 1.5 times as bright, so 700 lumens compared to 450, I think, 480 max. And that's if that even reaches 480. So yeah, so you can see a very big difference there. Build quality wise, they're both good, I guess. So as I was saying before, my phone ran out of memory. The threads are very well cut. You can see that there. You can see the spring down the back is nice and thick. It's got a little groove here. It does tail stand fine. All the knurling is cut really well, and as I've said before, I really like this pattern. It's got like a lot of grip on it. That's why I really like it. That's the head there. Really well finished. You can see, as I've said before, I've pretty much shown you around the whole light. As an EDC, like I've been using it now for a couple of weeks, and I really enjoy it. Like, because I love JetBeam as a brand, it's a bit hard, but this Klarus is like, they're made so finished that it's really hard to beat them. Like, everything is kind of thought over, even the UI. So I'll show you guys around the UI. Basically, what I like about this too is, so you push and hold, and that'll give you moonlight mode. So if you're like a moonlight loving person, that's an awesome feature. But if you're like me and you don't like moonlight, it has its place, just not for me. Like, unless I'm on sands, then I'll probably be using moonlight mode. But even when I get out my keys, I prefer low mode. Standard turn on with the Mi7 is single push. That's high mode there. It always turns on high. And then another push, and that'll be low mode. And then off, like so. It does also have the strobe and SOS. So for the strobe and SOS, you double click. Sorry, that's the strobe there. And then double click again, and that'll change it to the SOS. I'm not sure why they made them different outputs. They probably should have just left them both the same, but yeah, I guess so. Maybe if you're stuck in an emergency and you got to use SOS, it'll last a lot longer on only 90 lumens. One thing that I will add while it's still going off, there is no memory mode, but on this light it's fine because you've only actually got 2 settings to go through, so you don't really need a memory mode in that sense, and it always starts on high. So if you want to memorize your moonlight mode to only use that, there's no need because there's only one click and you're simply into the moonlight mode, which is great. To use the battery capacitor indicator, 3 clicks, like so. And with that 3 clicks, if it flashes 3 times, the battery is over 70% capacity. 2 flashes between 30 to 70% capacity, and 1 flash less than 30% capacity. So I don't know, like I really enjoy these lights, and with the last 2 reviews that I've done, Klarus has really won me over. I think I will be buying more of their lights or acquiring more of their lights. I wouldn't mind their XHP 35 model. The one that kind of looks like a tactical light. I might look into buying one of those, but yeah. Well, I've been blabbering on now for a while, so we'll compare a few lights and take them outside and we'll see how they do. Alright guys, so right now I've got the Klarus Mi7 on high mode, turbo mode, whatever it is, with the 14500 in. 700 lumens, which is a really high amount of output for a EDC 14500 flashlight. So in the video I was talking a little bit about a few different things, and one of my pet hates is actually having a flashlight that's super bright, like this bright, but not being able to use the output. So, you know, like as much as I love the Olight S1R, using it is a bit of a pain, because you know you're getting like 1000 lumens, and then sometimes my light steps down within 15 seconds. It's supposed to be 30, but sometimes it steps down a lot before that. So like kind of I feel, what's the whole point of having that massive output if it's just going to step down and then you can't use it? So right now, you know, we've got 700 lumens. This light hasn't even stepped down once. I think what Klarus done with this light is pretty good. You get 3 minutes of runtime, and then it will step down to I think 500 lumens and then to 300 lumens, if I am correct. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it's somewhere around about there. So yeah, and then, you know, of course you can step it back up. All this time we've been talking now, it's been a minute and a half. The light is warm but not hot. So, you know, I think that they've done a really good job with designing this light and making it all work. 700 lumens I feel is probably more than what you'll ever need from an EDC. We've all got our own personal preferences, but yeah. We'll switch to low mode now. So you see, even on low mode with the 14500, it does an outstanding job. Lights up my whole backyard, really good. You can pretty much get away with using the low mode constantly anyway. You don't really need to use the high mode, but the high mode is always great to have. We'll test the moonlight mode somewhere a little bit closer up and we'll see how it does. Alright guys, before we move on to the moonlight mode, I'll add low mode is 90 lumens on both the 14500 and the AA variant, which is great to have that kind of output on both batteries, if that made any sense. Let's move over now to the moonlight mode. Alright guys, moonlight mode is 5 lumens with the 14500 and the AA. It does seem a tad brighter with the 14500, but you can see it here at the door. That's about 5 meters away. Does a pretty good job. More than enough. And you also got instant access to moonlight mode, which is always great. Alright guys, right now we've got the Klarus Mi7 to the left and the Jetbeam Jet 1 MK to the right. Both running on 14500s, of course. You can see the tints. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell, but the tint on the Jetbeam is a little bit whiter. Of course, it is using a XPG2, and the Mi7 is using a XPL HI. Funnily enough, though, even though they're similar lights, you can see the hotspot on the Jet 1 is a little bit tighter than the Mi7. You would think it would be the other way around, considering that the Mi7 is using a XPL HI, but no, it's not. Both pretty similar in output. You can see the Mi7 is just a tad brighter. If I separate them, you'll be able to see that the Mi7 is just a tad brighter. It is about 200 to 250 lumens brighter. Now we will put the S1R on and see how it does, and then we'll throw in some AA's and see how these two go against each other. Alright guys, we've got the Olight S1R on turbo mode, so 900 lumens. It puts out a little bit more than that at the start. And the Klarus Mi7 on its high mode, so 700 lumens. They should look pretty similar still. The 200 lumens isn't going to make that much of a difference like it did with the Jet 1 MK. We'll wait for the Olight to step down. You can see the beam is a little bit of a better tint on the Klarus Mi7 too. It's not quite as white. If I shine it here on the floor, you can see it's not quite as white. Now, so far I've had the Klarus on for about 10 minutes and it's still holding up well. It's not overheating, nothing going wrong there, which is always great. Alright, so now you can see that the S1R has stepped down quite a bit actually. If we compare them side by side, you can see now there's a massive difference. Let's see if I can make a step back up. We just had it then. Okay, so we got it to step back up now, and it just stepped back down. Alright, so that is my pet hate, is that, like, I guarantee you all lights are going to step down no matter what, but like at least give me a semi-decent runtime before it steps down. Like, that's all that I'm asking for, to be honest. While we're here, let's see if the Klarus can reach the 100 meter mark. Looks like the Klarus has stepped down too actually. I think the battery might be going a bit flat. There we go. So it does reach the 100 meters. Only just, but just barely. I can just see it on the tree. So obviously the max distance is only like 110 meters anyway, so don't be expecting it to go too far. Now we'll throw in the AA and see how it does. Alright guys, we've got the AA's in both. I'm using Anyloop Pros for this test. Alright, so Klarus Mi7 to the left and Jetbeam Jet 1 MK to the right. You can see not a whole lot of difference if I just light up the Klarus by itself. That's how it does. Does a pretty good job. You can see how wide the beam pattern is. And then if I just light up the Jetbeam by itself, so you can see that the Klarus is a lot brighter. It's almost twice as bright. Well, technically it is twice as bright. Can we tell? Yeah, you can tell. But I think the Jetbeam does like 150 with the AA, and the Klarus does 330 on high and 90 on low. So we'll turn the Jetbeam off. Basically, like, that's what attracts me to this light, is the amazing output that you get from a standard AA, whether you use a NIM or an alkaline. Back in the days in 2009, I brought LED Lensa P7, which took 4 AA's, I believe, double or triple A's, and that only gave me 200 lumens max. So in that little bit of time that we've had since then and then now, you can see how much LEDs have progressed. I've got a single AA flashlight here that is putting out over what the 4 AA light did. Yeah. And also, it's so much smaller, so much lighter, more robust. Now, I can't really compare them fully because obviously one's a lot older than the other. But to me, to have this sort of output from a single AA flashlight is pretty good. Like, obviously we will progress in the future, but like right now, this is pretty much a sweet spot to be able to get this much output from a light. Once again, the Klarus Mi7 will step down from high mode when using the AA. Alright, we'll switch it down to the low mode now. You can see low mode still does a really good job of lighting up my yard. You can see the tree easy. But that's what I like. As a prepper and as somebody that always carries around an EDC, like how handy is it just to be able to step down to the shops and buy yourself a battery and run your flashlight at a pretty good output. Or for safety, you know, keep some AA's in your car, because you all know how dangerous lithium ions can be in the car when it's hot. Keep some standard AA's in the car, and if you're ever in an emergency, you're going to have light for days, and good output light for days too. Alright guys, this has been Chris from Everyday Survival Gear, bringing you the review of the Klarus Mi7. I finally got that out. As always, like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed it guys, and thanks for watching.